Everybody, and welcome to Spiny Talk, sponsored by X-Keys. I'm Miranda.
And I'm Maggie.
And we have a really good show for you guys today. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So what are we streaming with today?
Oh, we are streaming with vMix Pro version 23. And I believe you're driving it with our T-Bar XK124 with the video switcher key set.
Yep. Whoops. Hitting buttons. Sorry,
all
guys.
All the buttons.
Go away. All right. We're seeing your comments with vMix Social. You're hearing us with the Audio Technica AT3031 mic and the Behringer. And then you're also seeing us with a PTZ Optics USB 20X camera.
Oh, man. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Happy Friday.
Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and dive into our first segment. All right. X-Keys in the Wild. What are X-Keys in the Wild?
So X-Keys in the Wild, that is where people that are using our stuff all over the world, near and far, post anywhere in the World Wide Web what they're doing with their X-Keys, how they have it set up, what software they may be using it with, and hopefully they're saying really good things about us. So Spiny goes out and finds them and likes them and tags them, and yeah.
And why would people want to use, or why would people want to post X-Keys in the Wild?
Well, other than bragging about how cool their setup is, we have a great extended warranty program that we include with every single X-Key that you purchase. So you're going to get this flyer in the box. You can also get this information on our website at xkeys.com. So if you post your setup or a picture or whatever you want to talk about with X-Keys and tag us in it on Facebook, Twitter, or Amazon, for each platform, we're going to extend your already 1-year warranty an additional year, so you can actually get up to 4 years extended warranty for free. Yep. So just need to shoot an email to sales@xkeys.com and I'll hook you up with a certificate.
Yep, that's awesome. You would also want to, because if Spiny finds them and shows them off on the show, you are automatically entered in the X-Keys in the Wild giveaway. So you could win up to $50 worth of free custom acrylic keys, which is a fantastic deal. If you know anything about our custom keys, we do have $50 setup and 10-cent minimum. So $50 of free keys is a great deal. So post your stuff.
Really make your X-Keys look snazzy.
So let's see what Spiny found this week.
All right, this is Matthew Moore's setup, and he's actually got 2 X-Keys going. So he's got his XK80 and our XK16. So looks like he's got some sound labels. I'm not sure what else he's doing with it. I see a glue button. Who knows? Maybe he's doing some graphic design there. Yeah. Thanks, Matthew.
We got Yuri here. He's using it for animation. You can see he kind of labeled out his stuff with the Sync, Sketch, Backspace, Delete, editors, graph editor. Pretty cool.
I see a dinosaur key.
I love the dinosaur key.
That's amazing. Ooh, this is quite the setup. So that is Joe DeMax, and he's got our XK124 T-Bar, and it looks like he might be running it. It looks like vMix, and then possibly maybe his own software.
Possibly.
I don't know.
But this actually brings us right into our next segment. All right, we are back. Hang on, sorry guys. I have audio coming back at me in my headphones.
Oh.
All right.
Well, that's fun.
Didn't check that. Sorry about that. Let's bring in our guest.
Oh, man.
Hello.
Hi, Joe.
Live streaming at its finest. Gotta love it. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
We're good. We're along for the ride with the streaming at the moment.
I think we
Friday.
may be up against some bandwidth issues, but we'll roll with the punches.
Yeah, sorry about that. Not sure what's going on.
Not a problem.
Yeah, so what was your setup all about? What's going on with X keys in your
So
world?
yeah, let's I guess first let's look at that picture. I don't know if you want to bring it up or I can bring it up here. So that was for a show we did a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, on the left, that is in fact vMix. We were using vMix to play slides, video clips, all sorts, just bring in other media into our main switcher, which you can see over on the right. That is a TriCaster 8000, and all being controlled, both the vMix and the TriCaster, all controlled from that XK124 T-bar using central control, which is what we're here to talk about today.
That's awesome. So tell us about central control.
Of course. So this kind of started as a lockdown project. I was a lighting engineer and VJ, working in live events. Had quite a busy summer booked in, so it was going to be great, lot to do, and then all of a sudden that didn't exist anymore. So I'd long had this idea for this project, this software I wanted to build. And the whole idea was I had a load of controllers lying around, MIDI, X keys, some old NewTek ones, and in the past I'd written software that would let maybe one thing, the TriCaster controller talk to vMix or this to that. And I thought, wouldn't it be useful if this was all one program and it was, completely modular and anything could talk to anything else? So that was kind of the goal with central control. So we released this back in May with quite a limited amount of support. And now, if I can show you the website, I think we've got support for over 50 different devices now. And one of the most requested ones since we launched was, in fact, the X keys. And I'm very pleased that we now support a wide variety of them.
That's awesome.
That's quite the lockdown project.
It was. I started it just before lockdown, and I kind of had the idea that this wouldn't be done for a very long time, and then all of a sudden there wasn't a lot else to be doing, so it got released a lot quicker than I thought it might. But we've been using it on all the streaming stuff because we've still been really busy. Streaming is booming now. Like that's
Right.
all we're really doing, and we've been using it ourselves on like every project really since it was released, and even before.
Very cool.
Right on. So you purchased a license of your software. Is that how it works then?
Sorry, so just repeat that.
Do you purchase a key for a copy of your software then? And then X keys are just integrated right in? You wouldn't need our software at all, I assume. I just want people to know that you
No,
completely fully integrated it. So
that is correct. Sorry, I struggled to hear. Yeah, so it's one-off, $49, buy a license, and then when you buy that license, you have support for everything we have in there. So you don't have to, say, now I want to use X keys, I have to pay some money to do that, or I now want to use this with my TriCaster, I must now buy this extra expansion pack. Once you have it, if you come into this menu here, we have, everything is there. You buy your $49 license, and you have all of this to keep forever, and
did you say
whatever else gets added.
$49?
$49.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Holy cow. That's a good deal, Joe.
Yeah, it is.
I hope so. And it gets better every time, every update. It's there's more in there, so good time to buy.
Yeah, for sure.
So cool.
So what's one of the coolest streams that you've worked on during lockdown? You said you've been doing a lot of live streaming.
I
most
think
unique
we
ones.
did. Okay, so this is a good one because it involves X keys. So your friend of mine, TJ Thompson, reached out to me just over 2 weeks ago with this project that he was working on for Hasbro. And they were using not one, not two, not three, but 8 vMix systems. And the best part is they were all running in Amazon virtual machines. So he came to me and he said, if we buy your software, would you be able to control these 8 virtual vMix machines from one controller, like on my desktop? So there, he's got his X keys on his desktop and like one of these MIDI controllers, and then we've got these virtual machines presumably running maybe in another continent, somewhere else, but we need to be able to control all 8 of them as if they were right there. So I've got a picture courtesy of TJ, and this is the setup we were running.
That's
So he
just
had
amazing.
for audio, it's crazy. Like, this is 2020 gift that keeps on giving. This is crazy. So he's got his Behringer X Touch, just a MIDI controller. That's doing the audio, and then all the switching was handled on nothing more than this the XK24, I think it is.
Yep.
And he was able to use that one XK24 to control all 8 of these systems from his desktop. And I had the exact same setup over here, and I was also, so we were able to like swap between shows, and you know, he'd do one, I'd do the other, and then we're in different continents. Like, this stuff is crazy. But that is probably the coolest job and probably the most challenging, especially like not just for me, you know, as you know, just running a stream, like for the central control project itself, it was just probably the biggest thing yet.
That's insane and so cool.
Well, I'm not surprised TJ was involved in something like that. I'm really glad you guys got hooked up. TJ's a good guy to know out there. So thanks, TJ, for rocking the XK24. So yes, like you said, that was our XK24. That is one of the ones that if we were at a trade show this week, we're supposed to be in New York, I would recommend to anyone who hasn't had an XKeys before. It's a great one to start off with. It's handheld, and you don't need to use all 24 buttons. You saw TJ probably had a couple big ones on there. He's modified it a little bit. So it's definitely worth checking out. And we do offer a 30-day return policy. So you can always play with it and send it back. You won't, but you could. Anywho, so thanks, Joe. Yeah, I'm in trade show mode. I haven't been all year. Like you said, 2020 has been something. It's a little depressing, but glad we can stream.
I would love to go to a trade show.
See you. It's one of my favorite things about working here. Get to meet everybody and see what people are actually doing. I think it's hard for people to actually grasp if they have never seen an XKeys working with software like such you have. It's hard to understand really what you use it for. So it's one of the big reasons I like going to shows.
Completely.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of getting you an XKeys, I did want to shout out to Keyboard Specialists. So I know that I think we actually you got to us through Tom, Eastern Shore Broadcasting, I believe.
Yes.
He hooked you up with us, which if anyone's watching, the Streaming Idiots group on Facebook is a great group to be a part of. TJ Thompson, who we mentioned, is also a big guy in that group that you can reach out to. And our XKeys user group's also a good one. But so Tom got you to us, and then we got you to Ardeep, who is actually the owner of Keyboard Specialists, who is our UK distributor. So that was great to see that all go full circle. They do keep stock on just about everything that we sell, which is over 150 SKUs. So they have a lot of our products right in their warehouse. So I'm really glad that Ardeep could hook you up with the units they needed to.
They were very fast.
Good.
That's awesome.
They moved very quickly.
It's been a great relationship. It's nice to have things across the pond already. I know that shipping international can be really expensive. So anyone that's watching from Europe, we do have a few other resellers. If you go to our website and click on the purchase button, we do have a reseller section. But if the resellers don't have stock, like I said, we have a lot of products. A Keyboard Specialist most likely has it. So a little bit cheaper shipping, I think. I don't really know logistically between all the countries, but I have to believe it's a little bit more affordable to go that route. So yeah, so thanks for that.
Yeah.
Cool. Go, Mer.
Do you want to walk us through a little bit of the central control and show some features, possibly?
Yeah, and I've put together a little demo show file just for today to kind of show you what we can do. So I have on my desk, I have the X key, the 124 T-bar. I do also have the replay unit, but I don't have that with me today. So let's have a look at what I have set up in this project. So and tell me how this looks, because it might be a bit low res. So I am using vMix to connect to you, so that's how I'm coming into the show, and I'm using the X keys to switch that. Pretty standard. This is all mapped through my software. So the benefit to that is, if you are just a vMix user, is mapping through here, it automatically maps feedback. We don't have to worry about activators or anything like that. You map a command and feedback is done. It all works. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So this is our device mapping window, and let's actually hide this, infinite loop. So this is where we get to map commands to buttons. So here you can see we've got all the buttons on the device, and then we've got under faders, we've got the T-bar. And if we had the replay one, we'd also see the jog, shuttle, all of it. We'd have access to all of that. So I have in this project here, if I just go back, we've got my TriCaster 8000, which actually isn't here. We are connected to that over the internet, but more on that later. The X-Touch, which is just I'm using for audio. The X-Keys 124 T-bar, vMix, Arena, and ATEM. Now, Arena is something new in development, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I can come in here, I can select a button, so I'm going to click this jump to control button, and what that's going to do is when I press a button on the X keys, it will automatically, this is pretty much like the find feature you have in vMix. You press the button and it jumps, it shows you what you're looking at. So we'll say this one, which is the bottom left one. Really, I should have a camera on the X keys, but we don't. Budget. Now I've got this button, I've selected this button, we can now start mapping stuff to it. So I have a list here of all the devices in my project. So let me just zoom in on this a little bit, make it a bit easier for us to see. So now I can start adding stuff to a button. So we've already got this set mix preview, which is what I've been using to, just switch vMix from this X keys. But I can come in here and we can start stacking commands. This is one of the key features. So I could also, when I press this button, as well as it switch my vMix, we could also say have it switch the preview row on the TriCaster, or there's loads of stuff to choose from here. Now, the other big feature is if you're just a vMix user and you're wondering, what could this give me? Well, a big part of this is our layering, and what this lets us do is we have what 124 buttons on this 124 T-bar. But what if, hypothetically, we probably won't run out of buttons, but what if we did? What if we had a 24 and we needed more buttons, but we only had that one controller? Well, that's what layering affords you. You can add control layers, which can have different commands mapped, then we can switch between them and then control different devices based on what layer we are on. So if I come back over here and I select layer 2, I can now see that we've got completely different commands assigned to the same buttons as what we had before. So to demonstrate that, let me just go back to layer 1 and I'll switch to my camera. So on layer 1, I've got control of this vMix system. Great, I can punch through stuff. I've got the T-bar. Maybe I didn't map the T-bar, but I can switch between stuff. Working great. Now these top 3 buttons here, I've actually assigned these to switch the layer. So if I press this second one, this will take me to layer 2. And now, if I bring it up, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. Let me go over to here. So let me just jump back to vMix. Now, this is my TriCaster 8000. This is not here. This is actually in our studio, which is down the road from here. But I'm now able, I know you can't see it, but I'm now pressing buttons on the X keys here. And let me see if we could actually show this. Here we go. Perfect. So now, as I switch across the preview row on this, same buttons as before, but because we're on a different layer, it's doing something completely different. And I've also got the T-bar. Which is, this is TriCaster users. This is something you couldn't do if you just plug your X keys straight in. And the same goes, so for replay, you can use, the shuttle, the jog, that all works. And the same goes for free play. We also have that.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my second layer. I have a TriCaster that's not here. It's a few miles down the street, but it could be 10,000 miles down the street. Now, what's on layer 3? Let's have a look at that. So if we switch over to that, and I bring up something you might be familiar with, another switcher. So just to throw another one into the mix, here is a Blackmagic ATEM, and now, just as before, I can switch, and you can actually see the lights on the ATEM itself change as I move this. And this feedback is fully bidirectional. So if I come in here and I start switching, on the ATEM itself, you'll notice the buttons are changing on the X keys. Same goes for vMix, TriCaster, and that's all happening automatically. And again, we can use the T-bar, and I'll show you how we do that. I think that is another thing. So if you were just using, say, the macro works or something to do keyboard shortcuts, I guess the limitation would be you would have to have the ATEM window in the foreground, and we wouldn't be able to use the T-bar. So let's have a look at how we've mapped that. So I'm going to open this again, and we'll come to layer 2, and I'll select the T-bar. So you'll see we have on layer 2, is the TriCaster. We'll come over to free, and I will select the ATEM, set T-bar. And as simple as that now, I can use the T-bar on my X keys. With the
Mind blowing.
So that's
huge,
I think that's
Joe.
probably
That's
a lot
huge.
in
No.
there.
I can't believe.
Switch back over. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That is awesome.
So-
And you said $49.95, right?
$49.99, so an extra 4
Sorry,
cents. on the plate.
$49.99, and it can control that, and you have access to use our analogs. That's huge. That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So on that show, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. No, you continue, please.
So on that show, we were looking at this one. So what I had here is I wasn't actually using layers because I had all my buttons, but on some of these keys, on the X keys, I was controlling. So the main switcher part I was using with the TriCaster, which I was running the show on, and then I had some other keys on here, like I think you can just about see. I'll zoom in. You can kind of see in the top here. I use some of the included. What do you call them? Stickerless legends, is that it?
Yep.
That was it, yeah. I had these here. I had just a few buttons at the top, which I was using for my media controls for vMix. So I was running the whole show from one X keys, TriCaster, vMix, and in fact our audio mixer as well from the X keys, all in one.
Wow. That is just so cool. Hence the name Central Control. That is just awesome, man. I don't even have words. That is so neat. For years, we've been asked from TriCaster users and ATEM users, get your analog. We can't use your analog. I'm like, I know it's a sad story, but that's huge. That's bravo, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. We will definitely be
Actually,
spreading the word.
So I don't have the 64 with me, but I had a video here that we took, and I think you took a frame from this for your for the event. But let me skip across a bit. But yeah, we were able to use T-bar, jog, all of it. So I should have clipped this video, but either way, yeah, all working. Good to do some prep.
That is amazing.
I'm speechless right now.
Thank you.
Just a small quarantine project.
Right. This 2020 was good for something.
That's awesome.
I suppose it was a small project, but because it was modular, it just kept growing, and people would say, "Can you add this? Well, what about that?" Or X keys. What about this one? And it's like, yeah, we'll get to it. And then this you end up with this list that just the second you take something off it, there's another 5 items on it. But we'll get there.
That's awesome. And you guys have a Central Control users Facebook group, right? Should I put
Yes,
the link
yeah,
in there if I
absolutely.
didn't?
That is, it's a great group. I mean, people will type a question there, and before I even get round to reading it, someone in there will have answered the question. Really, and
favorite.
it's much like the X Keys group, like a lot of really dedicated, helpful people in there.
Awesome. So definitely everyone check out that page. I do have the URL to your website.
There we go. That's how you find it, people. Get
And,
there.
Get the license there.
30-day.
Well,
And the
I think
30-day trial.
That's awesome.
Man. Do you come and make breakfast for him too? I think you've done it all, man. That's so neat.
Add it to the list.
I know, right? And so if they need support, is it just you? I mean, I don't know how big your company is. Do you have a couple minions that help
It
you
is,
with tech support? You're going to get busy.
So if it's just me, so the person, like, if you email the contact email or fill out the form, it's me you're talking to, and I handle all of it. So yeah, the support is really email support with me and the Facebook group.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, well, good on you, man. That is so fun. We have a lot of action in the chat. I think there's a couple people using your stuff. So I think, did you have anything else you wanted to show? I didn't mean to cut you off if you were still in the middle of your demos.
No, I mean that was the demo I had set up for today. There was one more thing, and this has been requested, and I started on it earlier this week, and it's kind of at the point where I've got something I can actually show. So this is kind of a little bit different. This is a software you might not be familiar with. It's Resolume Arena, and this is recently we had a poll in this Facebook user group you mentioned, and it was like, after I released version 1.3, I was like, look, I've kind of done the things I wanted to do. I've got some more ideas, but it'd be kind of cool to put it back to you guys and see where do you want this to go next. And I think one of the most voted for options was this program, Resolume Arena, and this is used for it's essentially the visuals you'll see on a festival stage. The guy or girl doing that is probably using this. So we now have support for this in our latest beta, and if you want a copy, email me. And so I'm able now to control this using my X keys, and I think that is a first. I don't think any of the others actually do that yet, but it work in progress.
That's so
A lot of
fun.
work to do on it, but yeah, it'd be great because we could map this entire grid of clips to something like the 128. I think it'd be ideal. A lot of people are using the Akai, like APC stuff, but they only go up to like 8x8. The 124 or 128 would be perfect because you've got 16 wide and 8 down, so much more room, space to work with.
Very cool.
But that's coming soon.
That's really cool. That's really cool, man.
I miss festivals.
I know.
Me too.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into our next segment. Please stick around.
Yep.
Don't leave.
So don't leave us yet. Got some comments for you. So.
Nope. All right, Feel Good Friday. For those of you that have watched our show in the past, during lockdown, we decided that the world needed a little bit more happiness, so we created the Feel Good Friday segment.
Yes.
So a few images for you guys for our Feel Goods.
So my Feel Good, this is my little sister, Samantha, and that's her husband, Lucas. They just celebrated their 10-year wedding anniversary. And you guys are probably thinking, well, why is that your Feel Good? Well, it's my Feel Good because they're seriously some of the best people in the world. My brother-in-law, I could not ask for a better person, and they have come so far from where they were. They're both in the medical field now. They've gone to college, and he made it through the Navy, and it's just, I'm very happy for them. They have a house, and they're dog parents now, and so I'm just really happy. So that's my Feel Good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's
push
okay.
that button.
I said dog, and you threw your cats
No,
off.
I didn't mean to. I hit the button wrong. All right, well, I guess. So my Feel Good Friday, my fiance just moved in, and as you guys know, I have 2 cats. Well, he also has 2 cats.
So many cats.
So it's been a week of the 4 cats getting to know each other, and it's been interesting.
Chip looks really angry.
Yeah. It's improving each day, so I'm very happy about that.
I'm glad they're all together. That
Yes.
is a good Feel Good. One big happy family.
It sure is now. I'm officially the crazy cat lady on the street.
Oh my goodness. Joe, do you got a Feel Good? How's your Friday? How's your week?
All right. I mean, it's all right. I don't know. Like, I don't think I do have one. I'm on the spot. I can't think of anything.
That's okay.
Sorry.
It's all
I
good.
did put you right on the spot. That's all right.
Sorry.
We'll bring up some comments.
We have a lot
now.
of comments, and I think we got some good questions in here, too.
Let me get to so this will be the beginning. And we'll just start from the beginning. So we got Rudy out there.
Who's watching?
Rudy is watching.
He's ready.
Good. Got Alexis. TGIF for sure.
Yep.
Let's see what Rudy's saying. I'll read that one there.
There's a weekend coming up. Not that it makes any difference for the moment, so that's always
The
good.
weekends are always good.
I'm excited about this coming weekend.
Hi,
Josh.
Got Daniel watching. We have Kyle out here. Hey, Kyle. We have
Awesome.
another Josh, unless it's the same Josh. They're both Josh C. I don't think that's the same person. Hey, Josh. And here we go. Whit's
I think
using
that
it.
is the same person.
Or he's not using it. Who's here for Central Control, though. So thanks for
Want to
watching,
learn
Whit.
more. Awesome.
We had another comment up here. Kathleen, she is watching. Yay! You finally caught another live one. I
Yes.
know. Joe was asking us before we went live when we do these. We used to do them every week, but it's too hard right now. We both wear about 15 hats at this place. We work for a really small company, so she doesn't really have time to do a show every single week. So we try to do it at least once a month. We try to schedule it a little bit early. So if you like and subscribe to our page,
Yes, if you do that.
you will get notified. So here we go. And we
Like
love
and subscribe.
we love having our friends like and subscribe. So please do.
Shameless plug.
Hey, we'll take it. All right, where's Daniel at? He's in Wisconsin. Let's see. I thought I saw one. Here we go. Josh is using it. That's very powerful. Sound Kilmer.
Worth every penny. Joe's extremely responsive too.
There you go.
Thank you, Josh.
Dan says happy Friday.
Thanks, Dan.
Let's see. What is Whitson? That's a big one. You can read that one.
All right. Whit is watching from Brockville, Ontario, Canada. Feel good story for today. Who isn't feeling good watching Spiny talk? And set up another IFB and X keys for view mix call. All is good.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right, you got Whit excited.
Woohoo! I see support for Time Warp 42 on Joe's site. Mine has been idle for 5 years.
Not sure what that is.
Drag
but
it out. Get it out.
He's pretty excited. And Dan was loving your layers. Yeah, that layer function is pretty sweet. I didn't even think about that. That's huge.
The layer thing, that was the key to the whole Hasbro PulseCon job, because we had 8 layers on each controller setup, one for each vMix system, so exactly the same mapping on each layer, but just targeting a different vMix instance. So he would be able to just punch between buttons on the X keys to switch instance, and then all the other keys on that X keys would then be controlling that system.
That's so cool.
Everything's central. Tommy's trying to do math. Look out. Talking about layers.
XK, yeah, so I guess times by however many layers you set up to 10, so XK 240, I guess, if you really want to push it.
Whew.
Yeah, it's the same Josh. Yeah. It's all good. Thanks for watching on both platforms.
Yes.
We do have social working on both. We've had
I did many tests this week.
test.
I wanted the stream to go well, aside from my fingers clumsily hitting buttons wrong.
Oh, here's a feel good.
We have some beautiful fall colors starting in the trees here. Yes, we do. Fall is my favorite season.
You guys might have similar colors, don't you, over in the UK? I mean, it's similar weather, I think, to us. I think we're along the same line
Probably a
we
bit
live.
wetter, but yeah.
Yeah, I
Nice.
heard it was raining again. You know, I've
Oh,
been
it's
to England
raining now.
before a few times, and every time I've been, it's been really crappy weather. So I think it's
Yep.
we're lucky to get some sun there. All right, here we go. Where's from Rudy?
Central Control's layering system just screams for dynamic labeling. It's true.
Here's a question for you, Joe.
Did you say you can go to 10 layers?
Oh, you already answered.
10
it.
layers,
Quick.
10.
It's faster than
10.
this.
And then is there a limit on how many pieces of hardware you can have? I saw you had a couple XCs plugged in, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, there's no limit. I guess as many as you plug in, that's
Cool.
how many we can use.
Oh, the XCs.
That's
And then I
So
should have asked
until you
this
run out of
before.
USB ports,
Are you on Windows based, Mac based? Doesn't matter. Both.
entirely right now just Windows based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That.
That's awesome. I love how intuitive your software seems.
Yeah. That was,
Thank you.
almost looked like I could do it.
Well, 30-day free trial. Download it. Have a go.
Yeah,
I think I might have
And
to.
If we ever do get to travel again, I know that for a while there was a trade show we were doing in the UK. I'm not sure if that, I think it was supposed to be moved to May actually. BVE, I don't know if you ever heard that
BVE.
one. It's a little
BVE.
smaller, but
Yeah.
we did do it a couple years.
Yeah.
But I heard, so last time we were there,
Oh, geez.
was a couple years ago. Do you recall the Beast from the East in February? It was like blizzard conditions
yeah.
and it shut down transit, and it wasn't funny because it messed up the trade show a little bit, but for us being from Michigan, so we turned on the news that morning, getting ready for the show, and it was big news. There was this huge storm and it was shutting down everything. And so I opened up the window and I'm like,
Where's the snow?
I don't even see the snow. And it was just, it's so different what weather's like for some people because we get feet of snow here. So it was like, oh, you guys don't usually get ice. I got it. So yeah, so they moved it to May, I think was supposed to happen, which would have been much better. But 2020.
Hopefully 2021. I hope.
All right.
I hope
Tommy's
so.
got a question.
Can you use these layers on VMix only?
No, I don't think so.
No. So let me go back. So the layers, if I go back to the device mapping window, the layers, it really doesn't matter. Like, so the layers are more on the controller's side than they are what we're mapping to. So if I'm now on layer 2, I've still got everything, Arena, ATEM, TriCaster. I can, you could have a layer, if you really wanted, you could have a layer of buttons for your TriCaster, a layer for your ATEM, so on and so forth. So no, they, you can use the layers however you see fit.
Awesome.
Great. And I know you got a handful of X keys from RD, but so how does that go with your integration? Do you support all of our hardware now, or is it do you need me to get you each one? Because I can make that happen.
There might be the one thing that we might need is one with a joystick to play with. That's the only thing I think we don't support right now. But at present, we've got just reading it now, we've got the XK24, XK60, 124 T-bar, 80, XKE 128, and the XKE 64 jog T-bar. If anyone out there has one that we don't support and they'd like us to, send me an email and I will make it happen.
You're just great, Joe. Thank you. Tommy says thank you. That's awesome. How exciting. I'm still I can't believe that you just controlled an ATEM and a TriCaster with our T-bar.
It's such an affordable price.
It's awesome. I can't tell you how many times I've had to see the disappointing look on customers' faces when I tell them they don't support analog. Support our buttons for years. It's just been macros, but...
The other part is that even if you have, and I know Josh has used some complex hardware mode stuff to try and make this happen, but you don't, if you just plug the X keys into the TriCaster, the other limitation of their macro system, which it maps through, is it's one way. You don't get any feedback. With our solution, it's just as soon as you map a button, it's true feedback. So if I go changing the inputs on the TriCaster, I will see that reflected on the X keys. That's I think that's the importance of that can't be understated. You need to have the confidence of looking at the controller and knowing what's what.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
That's awesome.
Rudy says, great job. I agree. This was fun today.
Yeah, this was a fun show. Thank you very much for coming
Thank
on
you,
and
Rudy.
teaching us about central control. It's awesome. I'm still in awe.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If anybody has any more questions, throw them in the chat. Otherwise,
And if they want to get you, what's your email again? Is it sales at, we should have had that ready. I'm sorry. Sales at centralcontrol.io.
There is. If you want to buy a license, you can go straight to the website and buy it right there. We also have some resellers. There is a list of them on the website. If you want to contact me, the email address is joe@centralcontrol.io. And one more thing, if anyone wants to download this, which you can do on the website, if you want for anyone watching, I'll give a 30-day extension to the trial. So just email me on that address and I'll send you a trial extension code.
that's awesome. That's so nice of you.
Great. So watching, Whit.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Whit. All right. Well, thank you again for coming on. This has been a lot of fun.
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm hungry. It's almost lunchtime, so
I'm hungry. It's nearly my dinner time.
I know it's already your weekend, not almost. So
Lucky.
yeah, but we'll be in touch. Like I said, I'm gonna spread the word now that I actually fully
Absolutely.
understand what's happening, and there's a lot to be excited about. So
Yep.
maybe we can get some information on our website. And
Yep. We'll get you on the utilization section of our website for that and everything.
Much hated.
Awesome. Cool. Well,
Right.
have a good weekend. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye. Bye.